My part two of my elective in Dubai, guys, is long awaited. I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to make a part two, but I thought because I'm back in Dubai, first time since my elective in 2023, so I thought it's only right to film part two that I've been meaning to for so long. Looking at my phone again, same phone, same case. I've tried to collate the questions that I get from people either emailing me or commenting on my previous video. First one is like, what was the elective itself? So I did my elective, sorry about the noise, just like the first part, it's very loud. So I did my elective in radiology and in ENT, ear, nose and throat. So the first part was in radiology, second part was in ear, nose and throat. People are asking me about how strict they are. I think just communicate, just tell the person that's your assigned consultant that, okay, maybe this day I'm going to take to explore Dubai. Just let them know that, you know. I'm sure most people won't understand that you're in a different country. Fair enough, you're on your elective, but you still want to, like, you know, explore the country. So just let them know, can I finish early? Can I take this day off? Just communicate it, you know. And in terms of what you do, so it's an observership is the one that I did. Observership in the sense that I didn't actually do any hands-on, like I wasn't able to take bloods or anything like that, which is fine because it was good for me to experience a different healthcare system, so I was okay with doing an observership. So yeah, I would just basically shadow the radiologist and radiographers. On the ENT part of things, I was able to see some surgeries, I was able to look in people's ears, I was able to see just different procedures that he would do, the surgeon that I was assigned to. And yeah, it was good. It was still really good. Able to see how different presentations that you would see in the UK would usually go to the GP, but in Dubai they went straight to ENT, and it makes sense because if it's privatized, even if you have a cold or laryngitis or pharyngitis, you'll go to the ENT surgeon. Lovely. So yeah, that's about what I did. It was very much an observership, just basically shadowing like how you would as a medical student, but a bit different because as a medical student, yes, you can do bloods and different procedures, but here I was unable to. But I was able to like look in people's ears and things like that when I was on the ENT side of things. So the price of the accommodation, so I'm just looking down at my phone because I have it all here. So in terms of the elective itself, it was 2,000 dirhams. Well, when I did it, when I applied, it was 2,000 dirhams. The flight at the time for me, I went with Emirates and I had a student discount as well, and that was £561.68. If you do use your student discount, make sure you bring your student card. Well, you'll think that that's obvious, but just so you don't get yourself in trouble. Accommodation for me was 11,896 dirhams 29, and that's about £2,600 ish, around about that. In terms of the amount that I spent for like food and just toiletries, I'd say probably around 800 to 1,000, and obviously that's over 6 weeks, and that's somebody that goes through shower gel quite quickly. I didn't keep track of how much precisely, but I think generally when I think about what I spent, it was probably around that, and that's like because I'd cook and I'd also eat out because the food here in Dubai is nice, so can you blame me? And then the visa was 900 dirham, which is just under £200. So altogether, it was roughly £3,900 that I spent, or just basically just under £4,000 that I spent on my elective. Hopefully that's helpful to someone. And I was able to get reimbursed some of that by my student NHS bursary application thing. I'll probably just put the link here so that you guys can explore and see whether you're somebody that can also qualify or meet the criteria to get part of it reimbursed. I don't think I got the flight reimbursed. I think it was like the accommodation and maybe transport and things like that. But I didn't need to apply for transport. But just to let you know, if you do take transportation to the hospital, I think you can apply for that, but you would have to double check. Sorry if I'm wrong. It's been a while now, so yeah. Because obviously I was a medical student then, but now I'm a doctor. So, and things to just bear in mind. If you don't document it, the same with in a hospital, if you don't document it, it kind of didn't happen. So you just want to make sure if your med school doesn't already have a way of you proving that you had an elective in that particular department, in that hospital, in that country, you yourself want to make sure you have evidence of that. So if you can like ask your supervisor for a letter of recommendation or just evidence that you were there, so that in future you can just, have a signed copy. If whatever in future, if you have like an interview for specialty training, you can just be like, okay, this is evidence that I did my elective in this particular specialty. Something quick that I just remembered, somebody asked me about the distance like the walk from the hospital to where I stayed. I stayed in Teakham, and I walked through like a shopping centre every day, and that helps me to cut through to the other side of where the hospital was. So I just crossed the road and then I was there basically. And the actual room, somebody asked me details about the stuff that was in the room that I stayed in. So I stayed in a hotel called First Central Hotel Suites, or First Central Hotel Apartments. They had like, it was literally an apartment. They had a washing machine, bathroom, kitchen, everything was all there. And obviously I said that before in my part one because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to bring my entire wardrobe, and was able to have access to a washing machine. And yeah, I had all the facilities that I needed, and I was able to cook, had a fridge, everything. So yeah, that's what it was equipped with. I think there's quite a few different hotels in that area if you are looking to stay in Saudi German Hospital. But I just kind of looked for one that was most affordable for me, because obviously I was staying there long term, and I didn't really want to do Airbnb because I'm not gonna lie, it was the whole thing of just having to make sure you maintain things yourself. And it was nice knowing that I'll get tissue replaced, and I know that sounds so lazy, but I'm just being real, and the place being clean for me and stuff like that. Because yeah, you're here for your elective, but at the end of the day, I'm not really trying to be here like scrubbing floors and stuff like that. But yeah, to each their own. If that's what you want to do, get an Airbnb. It might be easier, might be cheaper, I don't know. But yeah, just look into everything, look into your options. Guys, I think that is all. So yeah, I did mine in Saudi German Hospital in Dubai, and some people have reached out to me about that. So I'm going to put in the email that I use to contact the people, because a lot of people have asked me that as well. And yeah, I think it was a good experience. I feel like if you're somebody that wants hands-on experience, maybe explore a different hospital or talk to the people in this particular hospital and ask them what kind of things you can do, what you can't do. Let them know your competencies and things like that, and just see how it goes, really. But yeah, I think that's all. All the best in your application. I'm not too sure. I feel like it's a bit different now compared to when I did it in terms of the application in and of itself. I think it's a slightly different process, but at the end of the day, just make sure you push through. Don't give up. I know it's easy to be like, no one's responded to me, I'm just not going to do my elective here. But no, trust me, in the end, I was so happy that I did it. So if you know you want to do that, then push through. And yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if there's any more questions, then maybe I would have to do a part 3. But I think I've answered most of the questions that I usually get. Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.